Hi guys, Sylvester Stallone here. Sorry I cannot be here in person today. So I have got my iCelebrity talking cyborg to do the talking. Today my cyborg is going to tell you about my life, from the beginning to the present day, so get ready for my life story. I was born in Hell's Kitchen, New York City on July 6th, 1946. My parents, Frank and Jackie Stallone, were a mismatched couple from the start. My father was an Italian immigrant, and my mother was half French and half German. They were constantly fighting, and I often felt like I was caught in the middle. When I was born, the forceps used during delivery damaged a facial nerve, leaving me with a droopy left eyelid and a speech impediment. This made me a target for bullies at school, and I spent a lot of time alone. And in 1957, when I was 11 years old, my parents divorced, and I went to live with my mother and her new husband in Philadelphia. I was expelled from several schools for antisocial behavior, and I eventually ended up at a private school for troubled teenagers. It was at this school that I first discovered my love of acting. I was cast in a school play, and I immediately felt at home on stage. I realized that acting was a way for me to express myself and to escape from my troubled childhood. In 1965, after graduating from high school, I spent 2 years at the American College of Switzerland. I studied acting and drama, and I also began to write my own plays. After 2 years, I returned to the United States to attend the University of Miami. In 1967, at the University of Miami, I continued to study acting and drama. I also wrote and directed several plays. I was determined to become a successful actor, but I knew that it wouldn't be easy. In 1969, I moved to New York City to pursue my acting career. I struggled for several years, taking on any role I could get, even if it was small or unpaid. I also worked as a bouncer and a doorman to make ends meet. And in 1974, I moved to Los Angeles to try my luck in Hollywood. And this is when I met my first wife, Sasha Chak. We got married on December 28, 1974. And we had 2 sons together, Sage Moonblood Stallone and Seer Joe Stallone. But we divorced on February 14, 1985. Anyways, on with the story, I continued to struggle, but I eventually landed a small role in the film The Lords of Flatbush. In 1974, I played Stanley Rosiello, a member of a Brooklyn street gang in the early 1960s. The film was a critical and commercial success, and it helped to launch my career. Capone in 1975. I played Frank Nitti, the enforcer for infamous gangster Al Capone, played by Jon Voight. The film was a critical and commercial failure, but it gave me the opportunity to work with some of the biggest stars in Hollywood at the time. I also had a small role in the 1975 film Farewell, My Lovely, but my scene was deleted from the final cut of that film. In 1976, I wrote and starred in the film Rocky. The film was a huge success, and it made me a star overnight. I went on to star in several other successful films, including Rambo, Cobra, and Tango and Cash. In 1976, I wrote and starred in the film Rocky, which became a critical and commercial success, making me a star overnight. In 1978, reprising my role as Rocky Balboa in the sequel Rocky II, which was also a success. In 1979, I starred in the thriller F.I.S.T., and in 1980, reprised my role as Rocky Balboa in the 3rd installment of the series, Rocky III, which was the highest-grossing film of the year in the United States. In 1981, I starred in the action film Escape to Victory and the comedy Nighthawks. In 1982, I starred in the first Rambo film, First Blood, which was another commercial success. And in 1983, reprised my role as Rocky Balboa in the 4th installment of the series, Rocky IV, which was the highest-grossing sports film of all time until 2008. In 1984, I met my second wife, Brigitte Nielsen, while filming the movie Rocky IV. We got married on December 15, 1985, and divorced on July 2, 1987. Not much luck with the ladies up to this point. So let's just do a little rundown here, guys, in this order. In 1985, I starred in the sequel, Rambo: First Blood Part 2, which was even more successful than the first film. In 1986, I starred in the action film Cobra. In 1987, I starred in the comedy Over the Top. In 1988, I starred in the action film Lock Up. And yet again, I met my third wife, Jennifer Flavin, in 1988. And we got married on May 17th, 1997. That was 9 years from when we met, before we got married, guys. And we have 3 daughters together, Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett Stallone. But Sage Stallone died in 2012 at the age of 36 from a heart attack. Sergio Stallone is autistic. Sophia, Sistine, and Scarlett Stallone have all worked as models and actresses. My children are my top priority, and I'm grateful for the time I get to spend with them. Okay, so in 1989, I starred in the 5th and final installment of the Rocky series, Rocky V. In 1990, I starred in the action film Tango Amp Cash. In addition to my acting career, I also wrote and directed several of the films I starred in, including Rocky II, Rocky III, Rocky IV, and Rambo: First Blood Part 2. I also launched a successful career as a screenwriter, writing scripts for films such as Rocky, F.I.S.T., and Over the Top. I was one of the most popular and successful actors of the 1980s, and my films helped me to define the action genre. I continued to act and direct throughout the 1990s and beyond. In the 1990s, my career slowed down somewhat. However, I continued to make films, and I also began to direct and produce. I also launched a successful career as a screenwriter, appearing in films such as Copland, 1997, Get Carter, 2000, and The Expendables, 2010. I just want to add here, guys, before we go on about my career, just so you know a little bit about my dad and mom. My dad died in 2011 at the age of 91, and he was a hairdresser and beautician. He was also a writer and published a memoir in 2010 called Stuart Lane. My mom, Jackie Stallone, died in 2020 at the age of 98. She was an astrologer, dancer, and wrestling promoter. She was also a successful businesswoman and author. They were both very, very much supportive of me and my dreams. Okay, and with that said, let's continue where we left off with my career. I'm still active in the film industry today, and I am to star in the upcoming film Creed 3 as 2023. I am 77 years old now, and I've been in the entertainment industry for over 50 years. I've seen a lot of changes in that time, but one thing that hasn't changed is my love of acting. I still get the same thrill from performing as I did when I was a young man. I'm grateful for the success that I've had in my career, but I know that I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of my family and friends. I'm especially grateful to my wife, Jennifer, and our 3 daughters. They're my rock, and I love them more than anything in the world. I've also been fortunate enough to work with some of the most talented people in the industry. I've learned so much from them, and I'm grateful for their friendship and guidance. I've had a lot of ups and downs in my life. Losing one of your kids is the worst thing that has ever happened in my life, but what can you do? That's just part of life. But I've never gave up on my dreams. I've learned that the most important thing is to be persistent if you want that dream of yours to come to a reality. So there you have it, guys. I hope you got some good insight into my life and career. And remember to hit the like button and subscribe, and hit the notification bell and press all so you don't miss other celebrity stories. So with that said, it's good day to you all. Bye for now, guys.